Big Mom said, I don't have the soul powers to deal with you right now. Based off y'all, she could have just casually KO'd Marco in 2 seconds. And that's not how she treated that situation. That's not how the Gorosei have talked about Marco. That's not how anybody whose power we respect has ever talked about Marco. So why is Sanji now capable of defeating him when Marco can again negate a large portion of Sanji's kit?
Interesting enough that you say that, because we saw Garp use a stronger attack than that attack he did against Don Chinchao against Marco to push in Don Chinchao's head. And then Luffy uses a Gear 3 attack to guess what? To undo what Garp did. You fully believe, wholeheartedly, that Luffy's supposed to surpass Roger. How is he surpassing Roger? He can't even surpass someone who rivaled Roger, right? And we believe that Roger's stronger than Garp. You're saying that Garp, in his old age, using the lowest form of haki he has, Luffy using his strongest haki at that time, can't even beat that.
5 from the Link Tales. I'm sorry, boys, it's been a hot minute. College has been a lot. Always prioritize what y'all got going on in life over us. We just here streaming. I would like to ask for my boy Flying, Marco versus Sanji.
It's Sanji. I don't know why there's a pause there, but...
I believe Sanji too, but his flames and stuff is not going to affect Marco. Sanji straight up use haki. Maybe his haki combined, those skeleton he did on the Queen could affect Marco, but flames won't hurt Marco. They've seen that multiple times.
I'm going to go Marco.
I'm torn. These are my guys.
It's a matchup for sure.
These are my guys.
It's a matchup. I'm gonna have to go Marco for matchup purposes.
Can Sanji overcome the regeneration? I don't know that he can do that just yet.
No, in my opinion.
Marco and obviously he don't be winning these boxing matches, but he do be boxing with Yonkos. Sanji don't. I'm gonna just be real. He be boxing with Admirals and Yonkos. He don't win those fights. But he's boxing with Admirals and Yonkos. Sanji just now started getting in tussles with Admirals, and he ain't look great. Listen, I'm a Sanji guy all day, every day.
You said the Admirals, right?
Admirals
and Yonkos, he said.
When? That's when. When?
Thank you.
What you mean?
Thank you.
Like, all that happened was Kaido threw a blast bash and Marco jumped in front of it. Big Mom
wasn't even trying to
Could Sanji do that? Could Sanji do that?
Yes.
Kick the Borba and block it?
Yes.
He can what? He can what?
You block. He can block Boro Breath.
Yeah. He can block Boro Breath?
Yes.
Maybe, but y'all confident in this right now.
Yeah, Luffy literally just took it.
Luffy is Luffy.
I get you, but
Luffy using God fruit to do that.
Luffy was in Gear 5.
But he's talking about not blocking. He's talking about, like, took the attack head on, like, damage-wise.
Marco took no damage from this. That's what I'm saying. Marco casually blocked Boro Breath.
But that's flames.
This is Sanji's whole kit.
And also, it wasn't... and also
Sanji's whole kit, bro.
Marco's whole kit is just that.
He can fly. He kicks. You know what I'm saying?
To me, even speed-wise, Sanji showed that he's faster than Marco. And also wise, too, that Boro Breath wasn't even targeted for Marco.
Sure.
It was targeted for someone else. He just jumped in the way and still wasn't getting acknowledged by Kaido for doing that.
I'm so confused about the drugs I'll be taking off the pod.
Zoro could briefly block Kaido and Big Mama's attack, but Sanji can't block
It was 1 second.
But still, though.
I'm not saying that Sanji absolutely can't. I'm saying y'all are so incredibly confident about it. That attack can wipe the top of a mountaintop casually. Like, Sanji's just blocking it with no issue?
We didn't say no issue. We didn't say easily. We said we could do it.
Yeah.
You're acting like
Marco did it easily.
You're acting like you're saying
you're forgetting. I already
only because his ability.
Yeah.
Not even hockey-wise. There was no hockey in that
Exactly. We seen Big Mom do the flame thing on Marco, and nothing happened. Marco said, because my flames don't have special abilities.
But that's another thing. Hold on. That's a whole other element. Again, that is a large majority of Sanji's kit is flames. If Marco can actively use the properties of his Phoenix powers to negate them, now it's just Sanji's hockey capabilities that's hurting Marco. I love Sanji. I think he hits hard as hell. Is that enough to knock Marco out? For Big Mom, didn't get immediately knocked out. He fought Blackbeard. He was in there with Admirals. Like, y'all acting like Sanji has this resume that he's knocking Marco out. Since when, bro?
Marco doesn't have a resume either.
But
it's worse than Sanji's.
You can't tell me that Big Mom and Marco actually fought each other.
Exactly.
You can't say that.
Cool. At the minimum, they were in a situation, and Big Mom's words, again, I know we do this all the time in this pod, where we don't care what people say for whatever reason in the manga.
That's not what we said.
Big Mom.
That's not what happened at all.
Big Mom
you
said,
ignored Blackbeard's words.
I don't have, no, We're not getting into this again. Big Mom said, I don't have the soul powers to deal with you right now. Based off y'all, she could have just casually KO'd Marco in 2 seconds. And that's not how she treated that situation. That's not how the Gorosei have talked about Marco. That's not how anybody whose power we respect has ever talked about Marco. So why is Sanji now capable of defeating him when Marco can again negate a large portion of Sanji's kit? He doesn't have this crazy speed advantage over Marco. I don't see that. Am I tripping? Like, I'm the Sanji guy on the panel, bro. I'm the Sanji guy. If Marco can negate half the kit, Sanji's not whipping out advanced conqueror's haki in his attacks to knock Marco out casually.
We don't. One, first
They
of
can
all,
both fly.
whoa. There is no proof at all in anywhere in the entire One Piece series that you need an advanced haki hardening or advanced haki at all to affect Marco.
To knock him out? Because I saw Garp hit him. Garp, one of the strongest people in the history of the verse, hit him. He was good. Again,
Using
you're
the
acting
bare
as though-
minimum,
no, man,
using the bare minimum of haki pre-time skip.
Garp's bare minimum of hockey is still higher than 99.9% of the verse. So what are we saying? This is Garp's hockey. Garp didn't go, let me bleed out the weakest possible hockey I have. That didn't happen. Garp is still Garp. When Garp swings, he's Garp.
Bash him again. But did he go all out in that swing?
Cool. Even if he didn't. My point is, y'all are treating it as though Sanji can just match this. Again, half the kit is being defective.
First of all, because you're talking about Garp's crazy hockey in that one attack. Yes, we know Garp's hockey is ridiculous, but you're forgetting a love tap that he gave to Marco, right?
Is casually.
He took.
Yes.
Got set flying and then stopped his advance completely. That one punch stopped everything Marco was trying to do. You're talking about he took it, right? If he took it, he would have kept going. He stopped his advance because the whole fire thing, because he's a fire doesn't really work on him. So that all him blocking blast breath, right, was due to his ability because the fire doesn't work on him. That's the only reason why it did. Pure ability, not hockey, pure ability. For what we can tell, that minimal punch, that minimal hockey use, that love tap that he got by Garp did more freaking damage to Marco because hockey was involved, not ability-wise. Now Sanji, he doesn't have an ability. It's going to be hockey and whatever special effects he has from his lineage or upbringing the way he was whatever did. But it's going to be hockey. If this level of hockey, what we've seen from Garp, clear hockey, minimal love tap, affecting Marco this week, so now advanced hockey hardened user like Sanji, and we saw Marco, right?
You said advanced hockey user like Sanji?
As more advanced than that tactic with Marco. I'm talking about hockey hardening because Garp used just clear hockey, that love tap.
You gotta be careful, yo. They be coming after you.
I know you're right.
Advanced,
I'm sorry. I'll try to make more clear. I'm talking fast. Because I know you guys, before we got to the whole argument with the whole thing with Big Mom's hockey hardening versus Garp's that love attack. What do you think is stronger? Luffy's Gear 3 hockey hardening attack or that clear attack that he punched Marco with? Garp punched Marco with? Or Luffy's Gear 3 hockey hardening attack? Which is stronger?
Garp.
So I want to clarify. Mm-hmm. You think the punch that Garp did against Marco pre-time skip during Reef for War, that clear hockey attack, is stronger than Luffy's Gear 3 attack that we saw on Dressrosa? It's stronger.
Like the one he did on Shinjao?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's stronger. Okay. Because interesting enough that you say that, because we saw Garp use a stronger attack than that attack he did against Don Chinchao, against Marco, to push in Don Chinchao's head. And then Luffy uses a Gear 3 attack to guess what? To undo what Garp did. And then also, too, so that's comparable there. But also, too, another factor you guys said, you guys believe that Garp's punch there are stronger than Big Mom's punch. I saw Big Mom's hockey on the arm block Gear 4 attack. So you're trying to tell me that Garp's punch that he did against Marco pre-time skip is stronger than Luffy's Gear 4 attack? That's what you guys are telling me. I want to hear it. That's what you guys say.
My statement is, on average, Garp attacks are stronger than Luffy Dressrosa attacks. Luffy Whole Cake Island attacks.
In Gear 4 too?
Sure, yes.
So Garp's pre-time skip, the clear hockey is stronger than Luffy's Gear 4 attack. All right, that's what.
Yes!
I rest my case, guys. I rest my case.
Our point is, we don't see Marco get hit with hockey attacks at all. The only time we saw him get hit by is by one time Garp, and we saw they affect him.
And he didn't take much damage. This is my point.
Bastion. Again, it's regular hockey. Have Marco see me up here to Marco taking a hockey harden or outer emissions or inner emissions. Tell me then.
I don't know. Why are we downscaling Garp? I'm trying to get
How's this
It's not.
downscaling Garp.
It's Garp. Average Garp hockey-based attack is just significantly stronger than most attacks.
You don't know how much hockey he put in that attack. You can't say that.
No, Sebastian.
Since we saw other stuff he did before,
hold on.
they're not the same
Sebastian,
level.
no, Sebastian's contradicting so much. This doesn't make any sense to me. You fully believe, wholeheartedly, that Luffy's supposed to surpass Roger. How is he surpassing Roger? He can't even surpass someone who rivaled Roger, right? And we believe that Roger's stronger than Garp. You're saying that Garp, in his old age, using the lowest form of hockey he has, Luffy using his strongest hockey at that time, can't even beat that.
How much stronger do you think Luffy is right now than he was in that moment? How much? What do you think the
You said
difference
Gear
is?
4.
Yes. What do you think the difference is between Gear 4 bound man Luffy and current Luffy? What Luffy can currently do? Because it's not close, Lawrence. It's not close.
Sebastian.
So yes, at that time, he wasn't sniffing the Rogers of the world. He was fighting in life or death battles with Doflamingo at that time. He's not sniffing the Garps, the Whitebeards of the world at that time. He went head up with Katakuri and was life and death again. What are we saying?
Sebastian, so hold on. Writing-wise, so the fact that we got the whole flashback with Garp and Chinjiao, and we literally saw this.
That's prime Chinjiao. Spiky head, splitting continents. What Garp did to Chinjiao made it so he couldn't access his treasure anymore. He's literally half of what he was. He's not the man he was. That's the point. Garp did this to me. You were able to reverse it. That's not, we did the same thing. That's, Garp took my prime.
Well,
Garp ended my career as a pirate.
Sebastian, no.
You brought something back to me. I'm able to salvage the treasure now because what you did. It's not equivalent. It's not supposed to be equivalent.
Sebastian, we know that's Chinjiao's problem. What I'm trying to say is, right, the fact that Oda gave us, this is the force it took to do this to Chinjiao. It's not about Chinjiao where he's at. To undo what Garp did. Because it wasn't a gassy impact punch. It wasn't all that, right? So it wasn't even Garp's strongest punch, right? It was simply a hockey-hardened punch, and he threw out Chinjiao, right? Because Garp level here is far beyond Chinjiao. It's not close. It took one shot to do this, right? So it wasn't like what he did, all this stuff. It was just a simple attack that he did. And he was trying to show us here. Oh, the way Oda drew it is showing Luffy's growth here. And that it takes Luffy to equivalent that force that his grandfather did, which was a basic punch from Garp then, to a Gear 4 that one. But it's showing that Luffy's growth. Gear 3, I'm sorry. Gear 3, but it's showing Luffy's strength. Right there, that Luffy's Gear 4 strength. Because right there, that we know is one of Luffy's stronger attacks. That Luffy's stronger attacks, at that time, at Garp is like one of Garp's basic hockey hardening attacks. That's the example here. The same force, because if it's weaker force, it's not going to undo what Garp did to Don Zhao. But if it's the same force, then it would undo it. That's the whole point. That's what the writing was. That's what he showed the flashback. But you're telling me that Garp's weaker punch, weaker than that, is stronger than an attack that Luffy did, stronger than Gear 3, Gear 4. That's what you're trying to say. That's not what Oda wrote. That doesn't make any sense. Especially as much as Luffy's growing now, how could you say that Garp in his old age is throwing out his weakest from hockey is stronger than Luffy's strongest attack now? When Luffy's beating people stronger than John Chinjiao now? What are we saying here? How is Luffy supposed to grow? At that late, Luffy can never surpass the greats then. Luffy's never going to surpass Garp and them. Because he's that much far weaker. His strongest now doesn't even close to the Garp's weakest. That's like Ryzen in his weakest state. Yusuke at his strongest is just barely battling him. How is Yusuke going to surpass this man? That's what you're telling me here. How is Luffy going to equate to Garp if he's that much far weaker? He doesn't even come close. That doesn't make any sense to me.
There's 1,000 things to say. This isn't, I guess, the time or place. Because we got chapter to discuss. We're going to have to agree to disagree. I think it's a close matchup. I'm with Larry. I'm going to go Marco for now. But I've always scaled Marco a little higher than the majority of y'all. So.